Don't want to disappoint my two loyal fans, so I'll come up with another one of my great adventures. I might give you two of them. The first one was in 1973. On my way coming back from Vietnam. I was in Thailand, and the new gunny that just checked in like 4 months earlier, I always had to call him Gunny. He never went by first name basis. Marine Corps, entered VMFA 115. He was calling me Corporal. Could not get that man to call me Gene for nothing. Yeah, he comes up to me one day, and his name was Gary, Gunny Gary, G-U-E-R-R-Y. And he told me I had to go over to S1 because it was time for me to check out, and I had to take the Freedom Bird the next day. So he watched me get dressed because he was told I had to treat me with kid gloves, and actually, if I don't call him by his first name, he's not going to obey you. Well, he had me get dressed. I had to put on the whole monkey suit, and he walked me through the hangar and directed me to S1. Well, I walked to the next hangar, walked through the hangar, back out to the flight line, finished the day without him even noticing I was there. Next morning I went to work. I was out launching an airplane, and when I came in, there was Gary with, what was that guy's name? Captain Dix, D-I-X. Captain Dix told me I had to be on the Freedom Bird. Well, Captain Dix walked me over to S1, got my checkout sheet, and walked me through checkout. I had to check out of every place over in Nampong. Well, Freedom Bird wasn't going to be there for 3 days. So I talked to Captain Dix and made a promise to him and the Sergeant Major that I'd come back from Liberty on time to catch the Freedom Bird on Friday. Because I was already late. I was already a week late leaving Thailand. So anyways, I go to town. There's one massage parlor I always went to. Mama San treated me real good. I used to give her blankets, and she treated me real good. Well, I had fun for those 3 days. I get back to base. Captain Dix and Gunny Gary watched me pack my stuff. I stopped by the squadron, told Major Howe goodbye, and the new skipper goodbye, and I went over and got on the Freedom Bird. Well, the Freedom Bird just so happened to have to land in Olongapo City, the Philippines. Well, the Marine liaison gets on the airplane, and he needs 3 volunteers for the general and his assistants. Naturally, yep, Chuck, Tom, and I's hand went up in the air. And we were told to take our stuff and throw it off. Well, my bag almost hit the general as I threw it off the airplane. And here we were at the air terminal. Next airplane was scheduled 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we'll be back. Tom, you got any money? Nope. Chuck, you got any money? Nope. That looks like we gotta go to Navy Relief. So we went to Navy Relief. They had a rule over there, health and comfort will give you $10. Well, we told them that we were really needed, so we needed 25. Well, they gave us $25. Well, we went out in town that night. Came back the next morning, broke. We're at the air terminal. All three of us are broke. We spent the 25 night before last. And no Freedom Bird. It's not due until tomorrow morning, going to Iwakuni. Okay, back to Navy Relief. Well, we showed up to Navy Relief, Health and Comfort. Can you give us 25? Well, they wouldn't give us 25, they only gave us 10. Okay, so we had to promise that we give Navy Relief $35 when we get back to Iwakuni. So we went. Had just as much fun with the $10 as we did the 25 because we learned how to spend the peso. So next morning, we're back at the air terminal. I still got 6 pesos left. I'm the richest one of the bunch. But the other guys only had 2 or 3. I had 6. And the Iwakuni bird wasn't scheduled until the next morning. Okay, fine. Back to Navy Relief. Got another $10. Well, the 4th morning, we ended up making 3 trips to Navy Relief for Health and Comfort. And we never did buy toothpaste or deodorant. It all went for booze. Booze is a good time. And a massage. So anyways, we finally, on the 4th day, and this is Tuesday now, we get aboard the airplane to Iwakuni. Well, who's meeting me at Iwakuni? Captain Dix. We arrived there about 12 o'clock. The Freedom Bird was scheduled for 3. He already had me checked out of the base. All I had to do was go over and get my sea bag, what I put in locker, you know, 13 months before, and go back to the air terminal and wait for the bird to go home. So, anyway, that was my experience with that one. Now, 1976, we're down in the Philippines. And, like I stated in a previous video, I got orders to PI. Not the Philippines. I'm going to become a drill instructor. Ah, Jesus. So we ended up having to check out of the squadron. There was 4 of us. And we were told in the Philippines, best way you can get to Iwakuni, you're on your own, Jack. Hitchhike. Do what? Well, we went to the air terminal. Now, from there, we ended up going to Midway Island. Spent 2 days in Midway Island. Then we went to Guam. Spent a couple days in Guam. Now, Guam was interesting. Midway, we had a barracks that we stayed at while we were waiting for the next plane that'll take us to Guam. But we get to Guam, well, Guam had nothing. We ended up sleeping underneath the 117 that was going from Guam to Iwakuni. So, we're out there on the flight line, sleeping. The thing is, the MPs weren't told about us. And they had dogs. So we were chased by dogs that night, and the MPs, and helter-skelter until about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then they finally realized what was going on, so they let us camp out underneath the 117. Well, the 117 got us to Osaka. Japan. And it broke. So we ended up taking the bullet train. Now, we had money at that time. Now, we ended up having to convert it to yen in order to buy the ticket for the bullet. And I'll tell you what, riding on the bullet in Japan is a thrill and a half. It only took us about 35 minutes to go that couple hundred miles to Iwakuni. When we get off at Iwakuni, grab a cab. Cab got us to the station, but the cab wasn't allowed on the station because it didn't have a decal for the station. So we got off the station and we had to wait about an hour to get a ride from the main gate because of our bags to headquarters, where we could get our orders and find out when we're going to head back home. Well, as I'm sitting there waiting, I noticed the Freedom Bird taking off. Oh, great. Well, I got a week. Because the Freedom Bird at that time was only going once a week. So anyhow, I ended up checking in, and sure enough, because I had to wait a week, they assigned me to this barracks, and it was fun. I was on my own. I didn't have no jobs or anything because I only had 7 days, so I did a lot of spit shining, taking care of my uniforms and getting all ready for drill instructor. I met a couple XDIs at the PX, and they filled me in a lot about what was going on at the school. So starting then, I started running with boots on, because they told me I had to do an 8-mile run in boots, and I had to do it in under 60 minutes. So anyhow, yeah, when it came time, I did the 8 miles in like 57 minutes, so no big deal. Anyway, that was my 2 great adventures coming back to the States from the 2-year-long tours that I had via PCS. The rest of the time, yeah, I went overseas squadron level. I was already assigned to a squadron, but I miss it. Still do. I think I always will. So, anyway, for my 2 great subscribers, I didn't want to disappoint you, but I thought I'd just have a little bit of fun here. So, anyway, have a beautiful June 7th, and God bless. And I'm looking at 1335.